It's not. It's not. It's not shutting down.
If a second explosion had happened and been covered up, if a few people hadn't sacrificed themselves, Kiev, Minsk, and maybe half of Europe may not be exist today. After the Chernobyl disaster, several things happened that few people know about. In the first days after the accident, Soviet scientists realized there was a danger even worse than the initial blast. The reactor's molten core was like boiling lava, melting the ground and moving downward. Right under those deadly molten flows were pools holding about 20,000 tons of water. If that 3,000-degree molten material hit the water, a thermal explosion could have occurred, one with a force of 2 to 4 megatons. To give you an idea, hundreds of times stronger than the Hiroshima bomb. That blast could have made large parts of Europe uninhabitable. But it didn't happen. Why? Because heroes went into hell. Heroes whose names were lost in history. In this video, we'll go to Chernobyl's hidden side. From miners who dug tunnels nearly naked, to people who took the place of robots, and to the monsters still living on the reactor 4. At 1:23 a.m. on April 26th, reactor number 4 exploded. And the Soviet reaction at first? Denial. The radiation meters in the control room showed 3.6 Richter. That number was high, but not instantly level. The plant manager breathed a sigh of relief and reported to Moscow. Situation under control. But there was a problem. The instruments could only read up to 3.6. The real reading wasn't 3.6. It was about 15,000 Richter. People in the nearby city of Pripyat woke up the next morning as usual. Kids went to school, people walked in the parks, even though the air was full of radioactive particles. It took the Soviets 36 hours to order the city evacuated. Those 36 golden hours sent thousands toward cancer. When the truth became clear, the Soviets learned you can't fight this enemy with tanks. They needed soldiers who weren't just flesh and blood, or who were ready to give everything. Remember I said there was a risk of a second explosion? To stop the molten core from touching those water pools, someone had to go into the reactor's dark basement and open the drainage wells. A basement full of radioactive water, and this. 3 volunteers stepped up: Alexei Ananenko, Valery Besplov, and Boris Bernov. They knew the mission might be their last. In total darkness, with flashlights that could fail any second. They swam through positioned water and opened the wells. Contrary to rumors, they didn't die immediately, but their sacrifice saved millions of people. But the danger wasn't over. The molten core was still eating through the ground and moving downward. Scientists feared it would reach groundwater and position the Dnipro River. The Soviets called in their best coal miners from Tula. Their job: dig a 150-meter tunnel under the reactor to install a cooling system. Conditions were brutal. Temperatures in the tunnel reached 50 to 60 centimeters. Oxygen was low and radiation was intense. There are photos showing miners stripping off protective gear and working nearly naked because the heat was unbearable. They finished the tunnel. The cooling system was never used. The molten material stopped before it reached the tunnel. But that doesn't reduce their heroism. Many of those miners died before age 40. And next, the reactor roof. Highly radioactive graphite chunks were scattered across the roof and had to be shoveled into the reactor opening to cover it. The first step toward the sarcophagus. The Soviets tried machines. They brought advanced robots from Germany and Japan, like the famous Joker. But the radiation fried the electronics and the robots failed. Machines gave up. People had to do the job. They called these soldiers B-robots. The method was simple and horrific. An alarm sounded. Soldiers in heavy lead suits ran onto the roof, shoveled up graphite, dumped it into the hole, and ran away. They had only 19 seconds. Only 19 seconds. Stay longer and you sign your death sentence. In total, 30,828 people took part in that roof cleanup. And the reward, a medal and 100 rubles. The price they paid was their health. Chernobyl wasn't just a nuclear accident. It started the end of the Soviet Union. The disaster exposed years of corruption, cover-ups, and system failures. Mikhail Gorbachev later said, Chernobyl, even more than my reforms, was the main reason the Soviet Union fell. The cleanup costs crushed the Soviet economy. Billions of rubles were spent. Thousands of workers were taken out of productive life, and most importantly, the public lost trust in the government. When a government lies to its people about a deadly fallout, it loses legitimacy. Is Chernobyl really over? Let's go back on the reactor 4. There is one of the most dangerous objects on Earth there. The elephant's foot. It's a mess of molten, full, concrete, sand, and debris that formed a strange solid blob. In 1986, being near it for 5 minutes meant almost certain death. It was so hot and radioactive that even cameras couldn't take a proper picture. Today, after almost 40 years, the elephant's foot has cooled and is crumbling like sand, but it's a still sleeping monster. If its toxic dust ever spread into the air, it could kill again. Today, reactor lies under a huge steel dome designed to contain leaks for the next 100 years. Chernobyl taught humanity lessons the hard way. Lessons about the heroes who didn't wear combat uniforms but worked as miners and firefighters. People who went into danger so we could stay. What do you think? If the divers and miners hadn't sacrificed themselves, what would our world look like now? If you like this video and want more dark secrets of history, like and subscribe. Until the next video, take care. Thank you.